Hello everyone and welcome now to game number 1 in a series between Happy and Foggy. We are going to be looking at Foggy spawning here as the blue night elf at what I'll call the 5 o'clock position of Twisted Meadows. Going to go ahead and speed things up to 4 times speed. Meanwhile, at the other side of the map at the 8 o'clock position, we have Happy spawning as the red undead. This is going to be red versus blue, undead versus night elf in this 1v1, as I am excited to be casting some more recent games taken from some of the ESL tournaments currently going on. Thank you, Walker, for recommending some of these games here as things are getting underway. You can see Archer already proccing off over here as the ghoul is looking to do a bit of harassment. Now that ghoul wants to make sure that it stays relatively close, but not too close here, as it will end up taking damage from that Ancient of War. Meanwhile, off to the north, you see a wisp now making its way off over here, as well as the Ancient of War decides to just reroute itself. Ghouls are going to be making its way over, and the Demon Hunter is now just walking alongside a single archer. Happy has really disrupted that early creeping that a Demon Hunter normally does with the Ancient of War. He didn't even have the Moon Wells in order to train up additional units, and he's going to find himself in a world of hurt. Demon Hunter, has he picked up Immolation or Mana Burn? He hasn't done any of that so far yet, as we do see another Moonwell trying to be constructed. Skeletal minions are going to be making their way in, looking for those wisps. Death Knight now looking to deal some damage here, as the Moonwell will most likely end up getting cancelled. Skeletal minions are currently wandering around across here as well, as this is not going to be a good position for Foggy at all. Foggy taking a lot of damage on this Moonwell. He's going to lose that Moonwell there. A new Moonwell is going to end up being constructed. A ghoul trying to take it down, but I do not believe, well, nope, the help of the Death Knight, he will be able to at least force a cancellation. Oh, yeah, there it goes again. All right. So all we see right now is that the Death Knight and the Ghoul has forced a cancellation on those Moonwells. The Demon Hunter does not have any experience, didn't even get a skeletal minion kill, as we are looking at Happy opening up with a very aggressive style to try and disrupt any sort of creeping. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at the base of Happy right now. Happy is still sitting at tier 1. He has mass ghouls, and he could try and rush his opponent, who does not have that many units. 26/30 supply. There is a fair number of archers out in the middle of the field, but they're not really going to be able to deal that much damage. Death Knight also has Dust of Appearance, as well as a beautiful block by those archers, allowing this one archer to now head back home and get some Moonwell juice. Skeletal minions trying to join in on the fight, as we see a sea of ghouls now making their way in. Definite problem now. No Ancient of Wonders either to join in on the fight at all, as the ghouls look to do some early damage first. Wisp now trying to run away. Ghouls are trying to get into position. The Wisp, what are they going to be able to do, as the ghouls are now making their way back down? All right, Hunter's Hall now being constructed, as Foggy is trying to recover from, well, a very aggressive opening by Happy. The Hunter's Hall is going to get taken down here. Ghouls are going to make its way towards this gold mine. 3 of the Wisp inside the gold mine. 4 of the Wisp already low on hit points, so they cannot play whack-a-mole off of that location for very much longer. Ghouls now just going after all of those units here, as the Demon Hunter going to be unable to catch up to that one ghoul. They are denied, as the Demon Hunter does have 1 kill so far. Archer going to most likely get taken down. Oh, yes, uses a Moonwell in time, but those Moonwells are draining relatively fast, as finally the Ancient of War acting as the static defense and bringing back that home base advantage. The problem, though, Hunter's Hall down across over here, not yet done. Death Knight now making its way across as well. Demon Hunter trying to get into harm's way, not able to do so, as another archer could get taken out. Death Knight, once it gets to level 2, that would spell a lot of trouble and problems, as the archer is perhaps going to try and hide across here. Archer hiding purposely in a strange location. There goes a ghoul, as the Dust of Appearance does show the archer. Archer going to go ahead and proc over. There is a Mana Burn there, as the Demon Hunter now trying to pull its way back. Only one of the gnolls actually woken up. That is a little bit of a strange occurrence there, as the Death Knight now trying to run away. Let's take a look at this 19/30 supply. We are at Tree of Ages. We could be getting perhaps a Tavern Hero. A Panda would be very strong right now just to deal with the large number of ghouls, but it is not going to be very strong of a follow-up play. Well, we are still at Halls of the Dead. Okay, so we are still at Halls of the Dead. No, so no, we are at Halls of the Dead. Let's see. Altar of Darkness is not training up anything. We are at Halls of the Dead. Meanwhile, Panda is back out on the field, as I mentioned earlier. Breath of Fire not going to even go down at all, as the Death Knight down to 460 hit points and still trying to run back. Large number of ghouls. Gonna perhaps be trying to do a little bit of creeping away from that Death Knight. Death Knight still wandering around across over here. As you can see, dual Ancients of Lore are currently under construction. Those Ancients of Lore do have that slow poison, making them that much more powerful against those ghouls. And now we need to see perhaps a graveyard being constructed by Happy if he wants to follow up. Alright, there's that graveyard. There's a slaughterhouse. There's Halls of the Dead already going up to Black Citadel. Yeah, Necropolis. It was the tier 1 stage, so we were at Halls of the Dead for quite some time, but Altar of Darkness never started training that Lich, so he did spend a large amount of gold trying to get to tier 2 with really no benefit. Death Knight saving that low hit point ghoul right there with the beautiful Death Coil. Now the Death Knight perhaps going to try and chase that Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter, however, having boots of speed, most likely can do hit and run tactics all day long, even with Unholy Aura. Alright, ghouls unable to get within range there. Are we going to perhaps get another slice and dice here? There are skeletal minions, lots of them, but the time life on 2 of them is more than halfway through. Alright, Demon Hunter trying to get around, and wow, what a beautiful play there. Breath of Fire going across multiple units. Ghoul gonna get taken down. Skeletal minion gonna get taken down, and Dryads are also here. This is looking to be a very, very large turn of events, as the Demon Hunter sitting at level 1, still looking very, very strong indeed. Demon Hunter now trying to head back off to the north. Death Knight trying to catch up, does land a Death Coil, but the Demon Hunter, wait, what is he doing? He goes back, he mana burns to ensure that there is not going to be another Death Coil. That's actually a very, very risky but beneficial move there, as the Demon Hunter does outpace the Death Knight. The Death Knight would most likely be launching a Death Coil now, if possible, but instead he will be able to return back home. Alright, Lich now out in midfield. Is it going to land that Frost Nova? The Lich is coming across. Demon Hunter, mana burn, Death Knight. Demon Hunter purposely runs back the other way, perhaps suspecting that there was a Lich coming in from the other direction, as the Dryads are now starting to poke it down. Demon Hunter down to 50 hit points and is able to get away, knowing exactly where the Lich is. Beautiful map awareness by Foggy to save that level 1 Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter heads back home, drinks some Moonwell juice, and now ready to head back out to meet the day. Druid of the Claw does have adept training. Are we going to be looking at a rejuvenation? We should be momentarily, as the Ancient of War finally able to take down this Rock Golem creep camp a good 7 minutes after the normal time. Rock Golem will end up falling here. Druids of the Claws currently in Druid form. Demon Hunter does pick up a potion, or a greater mana potion given straight to that Panda. So we are going to be looking at a lot of Breath of Fire. Breath of Fire to finish off all these units here, as the Panda may also get Drunken Haze. Meanwhile, Happy and the Death Knight, level 2, level 1 on the Lich, looking to finish things up here, having a lot of ghouls, but also having dual obsidian statues. Now, this is one of those classic examples of how, even though we are in your classic late game for Night Elf versus Undead right now, we are going to start to get more Crypt Fiends. This opening was by no means traditional, as the Demon Hunter gets a rejuvenation as well. Shade is nearby right there. Ancients of Lore are training back up. Druids of the Claw are at master training, but they are currently getting more mana, as it is going to be needed. Demon Hunter now making its way over, does not have that Orb of Venom. That is very, very important to note. Will have no way to easily attack all of those destroyers, which are most likely inbound. Alright, Abolish Magic removing that inner fire there. Demon Hunter rejuvenating more hit points once more. The Druids of the Claw purposely staying as Druid form, and they are currently low on mana, so that is important indeed. Meanwhile, back off to the center here, Lich is at 2, Death Knight is at 3, Naga Sea Witch is at about 1 and 2/3 as the Dryads are about to engage. Alright, there you go, Death Coil, Frost Nova. Beautiful attacks already coming across. Drunken Haze, rejuvenation, and you see the Devour Magic quickly removing that rejuvenation right there. there. Breath of Fire. That Shade is going to get taken. Oh, no, not taken down. It is only a level 1 Breath of Fire, not enough to finish it off. Meanwhile, the Druid of the Claw taking a lot of damage. No Staff of Preservation to save. And that is indeed a very, very bad thing right there. Panda now sitting at level 3. Potion of Mana now used. Drunken Haze. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire? Yes, Breath of Fire does go down, but not for very much damage or killing any units, as a Wisp may try and get a detonation off in order to save itself. There is still the Shade off over here. Ancients of Lore should still be training back up. Rejuvenation needs to go down on the Demon Hunter. He does not have that much mana. Instead, picks up a Potion of Healing instead. A very, very expensive solution. If we do not see a Druid of the Claw anywhere nearby. All right, there's a Druid of the Claw. There's a Rejuvenation, as that Demon Hunter is, well, looking a little bit more fresh now. All right, a little bit of a risky move. There is the Shade right here. He knows something is up. Panda, Demon Hunter now making its way off to the north. Naga Sea Witch has to expect the army has coming. If he was watching the minimap, Scroll of Town Portal quickly used. Fork Lightning trying to save some of these units in the backfield, and they do get taken down. Ogre Magi's are left. Forest Troll High Priest is left, but the Ogre Lord was taken out by the Death Knight. And let's see what item was left behind. It was an Orb of Darkness. Interesting choice that could have been given to the Death Knight in order to make the Dark Ranger ability as well, where you can also get some skeletal minions. Very, very useful when you already when you want to be able to use a Dark Ritual in order to get additional mana for your Lich. Surprised that that was not the case there, as the Rock Golem does get taken down. Naga Sea Witch, well, who wants the additional agility? It looks like it is going to the Death Knight, as all sides are now currently just creeping some more. Squirrel the Beast now picked up. Ogre Warrior going to get taken down. Level 3 on the Panda. Potion of Greater Mana was used already, and I will say used not very effectively. Did not get all that much mileage out of it. I don't believe it killed any units, as the Hippogriff is still in the air. Druid of the Claw, only 2 of them out on the field, sitting at 49 over 50 supply compared to 48 over 50. Happy and Foggy's armies are pretty much neck and neck, but we are going into a Boneyard for a Frostworm. That Frostworm going to be able to slow down these Druids of the Claw, and the key question will then be, can you finish off these Crypt Fiends fast enough? The Crypt Fiends are going to be the major damage dealer to these Dryads, as the Dryads are weak to piercing damage. All right, Forest Troll Warlord, not an Ogre Lord, excuse me, when talking about this additional creep camp there. We are still looking at the Lich sitting at 2, Naga Sea Witch sitting at 2, and Death Knight sitting at 3. Tree of Life expansion is currently being placed down. You see the Destroyers all spotting all of this right here. Is this Tree of Life going to be spotted by the Destroyer? Yes, it will, and it will most likely get canceled. Meanwhile, here, the Shade is doing its job beautifully, making sure to know exactly where the Night Elf army is at all times. Still, what is happening next? What is all the follow-up play going to show? Ancient of War, we are getting the Ultra Vision now to have better sight while at night. Hippogriff now making their way over here to the top right. We see an Ensnare go down on the Obsidian statue. Do we have a Scroll of Town Portal? Yes, the Death Knight still has a get out of jail free card, as he may need it. Yes, he is going to need it right there. Lich gets to level 3. Obsidian statue could get taken out. No, not in time either, as it looks like it is a clean getaway for Happy. Happy sitting on 1,000 gold. Meanwhile, Foggy sitting on 300 gold, but currently at low upkeep with 7 additional supply in his army. That is going to be the big difference there. We are getting the attack of the creature upgrade as well. Crypt Fiends going soon into 2-0 upgrades. Frostworms Frostworms sharing in those upgrades, as well as all those units are going to get taken down. All right, Obsidian Statue really needs to get healed back up. Boots of Speed now given to the Death Knight, transferred to the Naga Sea Witch instead, in order to better use those cold arrows. Death Knight still seen at level 3. Are we going to see an engagement? Cold arrows not launched there. Dryads, bears in the backfield. We could see a bit of an engagement. Drunken Haze could be perfect right here. There's a Drunken Haze. There's a Breath of Fire. However, the Hippogriff quickly poked down, as we see another Scroll of Town Portal being used. Will that Destroyer finally get taken down? Yes, it will, but at the cost of a Dryad. Obsidian Statue for the cost of a Dryad. Slight victory there for Foggy, as Happy is still on the run. Now, Scrolls of Town Portal are not free, and the question has been, or is currently, has Happy been getting proper gold value for each of those Scrolls of Town Portal? He did stop an expansion which would have given the economic advantage to Foggy right now. But right now, he is once more on the run. Death Knight sitting at level 4, level 2 Unholy Aura with a 20% move speed bonus. All right, there you see it. Fork Lightning, both of these units going to get taken down there. Both Hippogriffs taken out. Are you going to see at least a unit dead on the Undead side? No. 2 Hippogriffs traded for a Scroll of Town Portal, and that is once again in favor of Happy, as he is still getting some experience. Level 3 on the Lich, level 4 on the Death Knight, level 3 on the Naga Sea Witch, going up against a level 3 Panda and a level 3 Demon Hunter. Two level 3s versus a level 4 and 2 level 3s, not a good sign to be in, as the Panda picks up a second pair of boots. Those should be given to the Demon Hunter, as those boots of speed do not stack. All right, Roar, a little bit of a double-edged sword right now. Not something you really want, as the Devour magic will not only remove that debuff, it will heal those destroyers and deal more damage, as it does become a slight splash damage as well. Back off to the north, Happy doing a great job so far. He got an additional Orb of Darkness from the Forest Troll Warlord there. Skeletal minions will end up getting procced here, as we are now going to see a Scroll of Town Portal to head back home. Demon Hunter does not have a Scroll of Town Portal. This could be extremely bad news. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, saving one of those units there. Hippogriffs unable to join in on the fight. We see a burrowed Crypt Fiend, and the Crypt Fiend is currently just regenerating hit points. The poison not going to be enough. Scroll of Town Portal being used by the Panda instead, as the Crypt Fiend does stay alive, and 2 units being left behind by Foggy. Foggy in serious trouble, as Happy gonna be able to finish off one bear there. Hippogriff able to head back home. But definitely the trade was in favor of Happy, as Happy is sitting at 61 over 70 compared to 60 over 80. Alright, expansion is now underway. Entangled Gold Mine, 2 Wisp in that mine. Is it going to pay off? That is the big question. More Hippogriffs are being added, but they have just constantly been webbed down into oblivion and feeding additional experience to the Death Knight and the Lich and Naga Sea Witch. Robe of Magi plus True Shot Aura plus Orb of Corruption is plus 15 additional damage on that Lich right now. That True Shot Aura benefiting pretty much all units except for the Death Knight. The Death Knight, the only melee unit in this group. Meanwhile, the Shade is currently just keeping track of that Night Elf army far too well. And I think if Foggy was to go back and look at this particular replay, look at this game, he will now know to at least buy Dust of Appearance, if not for that Shade, for the occasional burrowed Crypt Fiend that was able to hide and stay alive. All right, Tree of Life fighting back here. Are we going to see an engagement? Cold Arrows now coming in. We are going to be looking at an engagement here. What is going on? They're trying to fight on their own term. Hippogriffs are now all in position. There you go, Mana Bird. There is a whole bunch of webbed Hippogriffs, as the Hippogriffs are now trying to peck their way through this army. Hippogriff's going to get taken down. There is another burrowed Crypt Fiend, as we mentioned earlier. Bears getting destroyed. So much focus fire here, as the Crypt Fiends will be able to come back out and live to fight another day. Bears not within melee range of the Crypt Fiends, as they are all now taken down. Another Hippogriff does get taken out, as a Frostworm now trying to fight back across here. Death Knight looking to finish off the Demon Hunter. He does get taken down. Now continuing that push once more. There goes another unit there, as the Crypt Fiends are going to be able to unburrow and stick alive, or stay around and continue to deal that damage. Foggy most likely going to lose this Tree of Life right here. This is going to be a big blow indeed. The economic advantage now completely lost, as the Demon Hunter will need to be resurrected at the tavern in order for him to just get back into play. 0-0 upgrades going up against 3-0 upgrades on those Crypt Fiends with True Shot Aura. No surprise that Happy has been winning those engagements, as he is just fighting with guerrilla tactics, pushing in, dealing damage, and then pulling back out without losing that many casualties. Demon Hunter back up to full, nearly, but all these Moonwells are now bone dry. Abomination joining in on the fight will be able to have a bit more of a front line as we now go into the fight there. Mana Burn, Dryads going after the Obsidian Statues. Obsidian Statues, if they get taken out, mean that there's going to be no more real healing. Demon Hunter, however, lost during that engagement as the Hippogriff once more gets taken out. Alright, Obsidian Statues finally get taken out, but Foggy loses his Panda, and with that, there is the GG. Happy taking game 1 in this series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.